Hey, this is Jordan here from Without Bounds. Without Bounds now on the YouTubes, Without Bounds on Rumble. Please join us. Today, we are here to heal, uplift, and empower you, my friend. We call it Hue for short because we're just here to add color to your life. Yes, I am so stoked for today. Stoked because we have a really thick lesson here. A set of topics that I'm going to be covering that really takes it to the heart of the matter, takes it to the heart of you, my friend, the heart of who you are underneath it all. Yes, it is going to be a fun one. It is going to be building momentum off of what we've covered in our previous videos, the mystical experience, spiritual state control that we call live feedback, the system I've been developing for the last 7 years or so to help you on your spiritual journey, to help you develop a spiritual habit, to bring you closer to your divine self. Yes, we are here to learn what today? What today? To know thyself. To know what? To know thyself. Yes, today's lesson is for any and all on the spiritual development journey, on this path with us, looking to level up their metaphysical game, looking to expand their inner understanding. Yes. So whether you are a newcomer, whether you're someone who's a forever student like moi, well, this one's going to be different than anything you've ever seen when it comes to learning about yourself. This isn't some personality test, though I do totally, totally, trust them and have taken them, and I have many that I could recommend for you. But no, today is going to be a little bit or a lot of bit different. You're going to want to stay tuned because we got some powerful morsels of wisdom, power, and love just for you. We're going to begin a series of discussions here, a series of discussions of what does it mean to know thyself and the key ways that you can begin to learn your birthright as a spiritual being, as a creator and co-creator, and as a master. Yes, a master, my friend, and you is a master of great love, gifts, and delight. Yes, it is in you. So let's see what's on the docket today, friends. Let me get myself situated here. All right, let's see. Sharing the old screen, of course, Zoom. All right, slideshow, begin. And as we can see here, our lovely snail generated by the wonderful thing called AI. AI is so great these days, guys, isn't it? It's been makes wonderful things like I feed it a prompt. I say, give me a spiral popping out of a seed. And here we are. So this is you, this is me, this is the sprout that emerging from its seedness, its seed nature and seed potential. And it is at the center of the Fibonacci, this beautiful snail shell, yes. But we're here to learn about you. We're here to learn about the thing underneath it all. All right, let's do it. So today we're going to start again by diving in fast and into the deep end. We're going to discuss the hole in the hole. Yes, the hole in the hole, which expands our earlier view into fractal nature, into fractality, into the Fibonacci sequence, etc. We're here to tune in to the big G, the big mother, father, God, him or herself, him, herself, itself. And what does it mean to be made in God's image? What does it mean to be made in the image of God? And we'll end today with a brief exploration into the word real. Yes, real. Given what we'll unpack leading up to that end discussion, you're going to love it. I promise. Stick around. So please, my friend, make sure if you haven't already, smash that like button. Don't hit the this one. That breaks my heart. Hit the this one. Subscribe. Make sure to leave your comments below if you have any feedback on today's video, if you have any questions, if you're looking to reach out to us specifically, remember, without bounds now at gmail.com. At gmail.com. Make sure if you have any questions, again, if you're looking to follow up on content, if you have just anything that you're looking to get deeper info on, that you're looking to dive even deeper than what we're covering here for some extra coaching tips and guidance, please reach out. We're always just one click away. We're here to help. So, shall we, my friends? Yes, let's do it. Let's revisit the first principle, that first principle that all spiritual initiates must imbibe and inscribe within their souls. Yes, that all is what? All is one. Yes, all is one. And this time we're exploring something that I find very profound about the oneness principle, which we're going to approach from a different way. We're going to be like Cancer the Crab. We're just going to be circumnavigating our way, circumnavigating around a new way to get at that oneness principle. So whether or not you acknowledge that there is a God, that there is a higher power, that there is a governing superordinate principle in our existence, there are rather remarkable aspects to the nature of oneness, the metaphysical nature of oneness that we're going to be looking at today. So if you're like me and you hold the conviction that God is pervasive in all spaces, places, timelines, and realities, then right at this moment, right now, we are portions of that one. We are a part of that one, having simultaneous experiences of our individual selves and our extended self in this greater part of us, some call God. Now, as the one total of all existence, the one is sometimes referred to in the unsexiest of terms, the monad. The monad, the circle, yes. So let me draw that baby for you. Sometimes Zoom's a little bad with the board here, so I'm gonna try to make it as visible as possible. So maybe I'll come up here. I'll do a nice circle for you. Sometimes that monad even has a nice little hole in it. So let's see. You see? Nice circle with the one or the hole, the hole in the hole. Yes, that is the monad, my friend. So let's get a little scriptural here. Let's get a pinch, just a pinch scriptural. If you've read the Bible, which I have labored to at least read what some call the Torah, or what many of you call the Old Testament, still pretty, fresh in my mind. Anyway, in the Bible, in the beginning, yes. I think it was on day 6, right? You might have encountered, or you've certainly encountered, the line that man is created in the image of God, created in God's image. But what does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean to be made in the image of God? Well, many have interpreted the verse to be that the body of man is some approximation of the deity, of the one, of the God, of Hashem, of Yehovah, whatever names we got for him. With God being altogether more perfect and whole than us. We're created in his image. That means whatever he is got to be the real deal. It's got to be the all. It's got to be the best, right? And we're in that image. We are a reflection, right? So, like me, others interpret the verse a little differently. It speaks more to our co-creative capacities, our innate creative capacities to bring our thoughts to life, be it in word, in deed, in feeling, and more thought. Um, I've recently reflected a lot. I've reflected a lot back on the patterns, like the Fibonacci sequence, like the golden ratio and pi, that all, and like what I mentioned in my one of my last videos, that it all reveals this signature from on high, this mark on existence that lets us all kind of feel and see that there's this imprint and pattern that repeats itself, that shows itself throughout all of existence, from galaxies to acorns to pine cones, etc. Now, I'm going to bring up my man, Walter Russell. So if you've not encountered Walter Russell yet, do yourself a favor, pause this video, write his name down, make sure that you check out his books. Like I got the Universal one, it's just a little out of view here. The Divine Iliad. These are powerful texts that will really confuse you, but will ultimately, if you go slow with it, will really start to do some strange things to the brainsicle in here. It'll really start to make things click in ways that, if you are a seeker like I am, if you have been, practicing meditation for over a decade, etc., you've got your thousands of hours, racked up like I do, thankfully. Um, you'll be able to put a new spin on things, be able to really start to articulate in terms that are scientific, in terms that are really mind blowing. But anyway, getting a little carried away here. Forgive me. Check out Walter Russell. Yes, Walter Russell states in the Universal One that this is a creating universe of appearances, a creating universe of appearances, and that God, in God's ness, its own essence, his essence, her essence, the his, her essence, remains unchanged in all of its creation. God is neither depleted nor expanded. God is not destroyed. God is not added to. God creates through the thinking mind, Walter Russell tells us, the thinking mind. And in this universe of appearances, this universe grows out of the thought, evolves out of the thinking mind of the unnameable, of our Anami, our God, our One, our Tao. Yes, the thinking mind. God uses his her thinking mind and spreads out the thoughts, and the thoughts become the appearances of our world, become our universe. But back to the Fibonacci sequence. The numbers the numbers of the Fibonacci sequence begin with one and one again. But why would one repeat? So we see here on the screen the all one and the one part. So in the Fibonacci sequence again, why does one repeat? Well, I see two reasons, my friends. If we first consider how the sequence itself is what? It's to add the current number to the previous number. So, for those of you who haven't encountered this before, forgive me. My markers are all over the place here. So that's the one, and then you've got one again, and then you've got two, and then three, and then five, and then eight, and then 13. Because what? You take the first number, you add it to the second number, you get the second number. You add it again, and so on. Ad infinitum, as they say in the Latins. Anyway, nothing in this case comes before the first one, especially if the first one we're talking about is the all that is the monad, is the beginning. Nothing would there is nothing that could come before the all, right? So in this sense, zero is kind of a concept. But what are the spiritual implications here? What are the spiritual implications of one followed by the one? Well, in cosmology after cosmology, we have the one that splits into the two, and from the two, we resolve into the three, and so on, typically until we get to, say, 9 or 10 or 11, system depending. Sometimes we even go higher than 11, but usually we end up repeating back to one. We make our way back in some kind of cycle back to the one. And in Egyptian symbology, as noted by the late great John Anthony West in his book Serpent in the Sky, which please check out, it is amazing. The moving from one to two, from the all to the many, the myriad things, as we say in Taoism, is known as the Great Scission. The great what? The Great Scission. Yes. And it's not that, when it comes to decision, well, let's just kind of backtrack here. In the Great Scission, in the one becoming the two, in becoming the many, and so on, creation bursts forth. We have our reality. We have the lives that we get to live because of this Great Scission. And yet, it's not that in the scission, in the becoming of the multiple parts, it's not that those parts in and of themselves equal the one. Rather, they add up to the one once reconstituted. They become the whole of all that is by adding them back together. It is a strange way to think about addition and subtraction. Wow, words today. They are quite difficult. And multiplication and division. It turns this all on its head, how all that works. That said, I want you to think about how the Fibonacci sequence unfolds, be it in pine cones, in your inner ears, to snail shells, like we started with, to galaxies. That signature is there, where the central point contains the whole fractal design builds up golden bit by bit outwardly, right? It starts in that center, somehow in that little seed in the middle contains the whole in the whole. Yes, I will probably repeat this phrase for the rest of my life because it is not only just one of the funniest things, but it is beautiful. It is the whole within the whole, my friends. Yes, the whole, the whole. Yes, words are, you'll start to discover that words are not accidentally the way that they are, which we'll get to in just a little bit. I'm saving the juicy part for you. Yes, no, there's plenty of juice here. So dive in, eat up, my friends. So again, just thinking about how the Fibonacci unfolds from the whole, it's kind of a long way of summing up my first reason, which, in this case is to say that um, the second one in this sense is the one that is part and piece of the first one, or monad. So again, the monad being the circle, the first one being the whole, the second one is the one and its part, is a part of the one. It is the piece of the one, that which we all are. So, something definitely, uh, something to ponder there is, again, that fractal nature of your own fractal nature. What does it mean that you come out of the whole in the whole? What does it mean for your wholeness to emerge in your own life? Just food for thought. Now, for my second reason, instead of the second one being simply just a part of the whole one, it is in effect a reflection of the one, the image of the one. So we have here the all one and the one part, and then the all one and its attribute, the image of the one. So I surmise that the second one, in this case, for no better words, is the attribute and reflection of the one that is all. A further digression is something that I've been chewing over with I Am the Soul, my brother Morgan over on his YouTube channel. Please check out I Am the Soul. Make sure you subscribe there. We're going to have a lot of great content and great discussions that are on the way. So stay tuned, my friends. Now, he loves to say, doesn't it seem like we're made not just in the image of God, but in the negative image of God? If God is the perfection, if God is all that is the one, the indestructible, the imperishable, then our world of appearances, this universe of appearances that grows out of God's mind, is that reflection, is that um, negative image, because we are the perishable, we are the changing, we are the evolving and the growing and the decaying and the returning to the one. We are that negative image. It's really a powerful, powerful statement. It's similar to how our eyes, they receive, right? They receive an upside down version of our perception of our world, and then the perceptual reframe flips that image into the positive reframe for us. Now, I know that the concept of a mirror, or the concept of an eye, isn't the most apt to describe the one, to describe the God that is, and the Fibonacci unfolding of God. It's because we don't experience our raw vision. We're not experiencing the negative image. We the reframe. And of course, if we are God's reflections, our reflections in the mirror, they don't feel anything as far as we know. They don't feel pain the way that we feel. So, it's interesting to think about being the image of God in that way, right? So, I think the image or negative image of God would have the likeness of God, would be its attribute, would be in its likeness without being the whole of it. Remember, when in the great scission, the one becomes two, and those parts, right? Those parts aren't the whole of God, but they have that fractal, they have that piece of the one within them that they can't take away. It's like one of my favorite lessons that I had in Chinese religions back in college, back in the day when I was minoring in religion. The teacher put a number line on the board. He said, Jordan, pick two lines on that number line. Okay, I just said, let's do 1 and 2. So we got 1 and we got 2. And he said, okay, so, the arrows imply that it goes out into infinity in that direction, infinity in that direction. That's what a number line is, right? But we take any 2 points on that line. And my teacher goes, Jordan, how many points are between 1 and 2? I guess an infinite amount of points. Aha! Yes, an infinite amount of points. And in this way, the one becoming the two, becoming the many, no matter what way you look at it, retains that essence, retains that infinitude within itself, despite being, recursive, infinitely regressive. It still has that fractal quality, the whole in the whole, right? It's powerful stuff. So where was I in my notes? Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. Okay. So again, I think the image or the negative image of God would have the likeness of God, would have that likeness, would have the imprint of the infinitude of the perfection in our imperfectness and changingness. So something in your meditations to dwell on and focus, to ponder over in that brain of yours, is especially, I'm getting to the point, but make sure you focus in here, your third eye. Focus in here, baby. Okay. Your third eye. What does it mean to be a reflection of the one? What does it mean to be the reflection of God? What does it mean to be the attribute of an eternal, dimensionless, temperatureless, and nameless being? Dwell on how you are a part of that one, a thought casting light into the circuit of evolving fate and choice. Yes, yes, dwell on that, my friend. Dwell. So I dwell about an hour every day on this. So I invite you to do the same because what it is doing for me, it is teaching me the trueness underneath all this skin, underneath all of this temple that is my body. Underneath it is the spirit that is unfolding the whole out of the whole. So the unfolding of your life is that unraveling of potential from the center of the spiral, the center of the whole, containing the whole of what you are. Yet as you move in the opposite direction, as you know, the whole spirals out, let's get a nice little spiral up here. Well, I'll get my, do we have any other colors today? Where is red? We got red. So as it spirals out, whoop, whew, you approach um, your actuality. You approach actualizing in life. The whole emerges out. And from that hole that we spiral out from, our potential is materializing in this world, is actualizing. But what happens when we move in the opposite direction? It doesn't mean that we're going to get young again, that we're going to, start to disintegrate. Rather, as we move in the opposite direction, we move towards that center. The parts reintegrate back into the whole, and you approach what might be called self-similarity. And I want you to seek self-similarity with the Mother, Father One, with Mother, Father God, in your own beautiful way. Now, I know saying Mother, Father, God implies that maybe you should become androgynous yourself, but I'll leave that for you to figure out. Obviously, we do what we can to live our lives as beautiful as we are, inhabiting our own spiritual beauty, etc., etc. You do you, Frank. But the idea harkens back to the phrase cleanliness is next to what? If you've heard it, it's next to what? Godliness, my friend. Yes, cleanliness is next to godliness. Cleanliness, in this case, being your own cleansing, your own wholeness and integration, and the expression of your highest divine callings and your spiritual habit, which, if you follow me, follow along with live feedback, you will discover what the spiritual habit is. So I want to tie together, being made in the image of God and the Fibonacci sequence and tie this all together, wrap it all up so that we can move on. But I want to first read from Manly P. Hall's The Secret Teachings of All Ages. This I think will really put a nice little cap on it. So let's see. Thus it is evident that the spirit of man bears the same relationship to his material body that God bears to the objective universe. The mysteries taught that spirit or life was anterior to form, and that what is anterior, meaning before, in the beginning, includes all that is posterior to itself. Includes all that is posterior to itself. Think of this is me diverging a little bit. Think of yourself as a fetus. In the fetus that you are growing in your mother's womb, you were you had within you, you have that potential. Your humanness is contained within this little thing that you are, and it spirals out and becomes the you that is watching this and listening. So, continuing. The mysteries taught that spirit or life was interior to form, and that what is interior includes all that is posterior to itself. Spirit being anterior to form, meaning preceding form. Form is therefore included within the realm of spirit. Form is in the realm of spirit. Spirit is not in the realm of form. Uh-huh. So, according to the conclusions of philosophy and theology, however, the belief is erroneous that man's spirit is within his body. For spirit first circumscribes an area. What does that look like? and then manifests within it. See now what this beautiful thing looks like? Why the monad has the hole in the hole? Yes, my friends. Yes. So again, it is a popular statement or belief that man's spirit is in his body, but that belief is erroneous. It's erroneous because spirit first circumscribes around an area and then manifests within it. So philosophically speaking, form, being a part of spirit, is within spirit. But spirit is more than the sum of form. Remember, the two reconstituting back into the one, the great scission in reverse. So as the material nature of man is therefore within the sum of spirit, so the universal nature, including the entire system, is within the all-pervading essence of God, the universal spirit. Now, he kind of diverges into this other semi-relevant, but I do want to cover this just for a moment here. So according to another concept of the ancient wisdom, all bodies, whether spiritual or material, have three centers, called by the Greeks the upper center, the middle center, and the lower center. Now, an apparent ambiguity will here be noted. To diagram or symbolize adequately abstract mental verities is impossible, meaning to draw out what's true, it's kind of hard in this way. For the diagrammatic representation of one aspect of metaphysical relationships may be an actual contradiction in some respects. So what he's saying is, I might say something that contradicts me, and I might draw something that contradicts the point I'm trying to make. Oh, goodness. Sorry, friends. Got a little carried away with the keyboard here. Forgive me. Don't worry about all that. Okay. So, while that which above is generally considered superior in dignity and power, in reality, that which is in the center is superior and anterior to both that which is said to be above and that which is said to be below. So, in that sense, in sum, first and foremost, the thought of God as the thought of God, and your life unfolds from a seed within God that contains the whole of what you are and can become. So again, you are first and foremost. To know thyself, you are first and foremost the thought of God. And your life unfolds from that center point, from the whole within the whole, the seed within God that contains all of that you are. So this is not to say that you're predestined per se, for any specific life events, outcomes. Rather, besides birth and death, your life is seeded with potentials that unfold seamlessly, regardless of what you do or how you act. And yet, as you act in the world and embody more and more of your highest callings, more of that spiritual expression, you will in turn that potential into actuality. It will spiral into the beauty that you are, my friend. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. It's cool stuff, isn't it? I think so. So, lastly, let's touch on the real and the reality, or in this case, the ality, the allity, and its reality. So if we look at the word real, right, we've got, let's just draw it up on here. So the real. If we break it into its constituent parts, we have re and al. Now, el, al, ild are names of God that come from way back, from Hebrew, from Aramaic, Arabic, from Babylonia, from beyond the scope of this conversation. And the monad, remember the monad, is the total sum of all, the one. It is the all-ity, the ality, the allity. And in the act of creation, the all cascades thought again and again. It repeats. And the rhythm of which is our reality. So I'm just going to get out of this one real quick. And I pulled up here, I went to the Googles, and typed in meaning of the prefix re or re. It says re, a prefix occurring originally in loan words from Latin, used with the meaning again or again and again to indicate repetition, or with the meaning back or backward. to indicate withdrawal or backward motion. And just for fun, I also pulled up Merriam-Webster. And in terms of um, it's funny because do, re, it's the second note of the scale, which is hysterical because do being the one, re being two, its image, its attribute, the second, the again, in many ways, to be in the reality is to say what? It's to say I am the real. I am the again part of the all, which is strange. It's strange to think about, right? To be real, to real, to be the all, to start with the all, and to know that the all in its rhythms is creating the real, the real. This is the reality. It is the all repeating itself. It is the all showing itself to itself again and again and again. So I'm going to leave you with that, my friend. I'm going to leave you with that because that is something to ponder. What does it mean to be real? Now, it's not to say that we are um, without consequence for what we are and what we do and what we think and how we act and how we conduct ourselves in this life. No, all of that still is valid, still important because we are working our way back to the one. We are living our life in expression of what God wants to unfold. You exist to unfold the beauty that which God has inside of you. Never forget it. This is what it means to know thyself. This is the first step, the thickest step to knowing thyself. So I thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for taking this ride with me to explore what I truly have come to see as true, what I've come to see as the real, as why we are, why we exist. We're going to be diving beyond this. We're going to be adding to this and starting to layer on this first principle. We start here for a reason because it's the place to start, my friend. So thank you again for being here. I am Jordan from Without Bounds. Again, if you haven't liked or subscribed to this video, please do. Please make sure you check us out on Rumble too. It's all the same stuff, so you can get us either way. I love you, my friends. I thank you for joining me today, and I will see you soon.